Happy Sunday night. Yay. Okay. We only have one question and ask away, but we got some big old wins, and I could not do this broadcast and not shout out everyone who dominated 3 days at the fair. If you aren't aware, 3 days at the fair is one of my favorite events. I am super sad I couldn't go last year. I'm super sad I could not go this year. I'm crossing my fingers that we'll be in a position to do, finally, again, the big fitness protection meetup at 3 days at the fair next year. Fingers crossed. It is always held on the same weekend in May. But before I go too much further, let's talk about what this is. It is an event that is held at the Essex County Fairgrounds in the middle of nowhere, New Jersey. Yes, there are places like that in New Jersey. It is a very rural state. But on a 1 mile paved loop, these ladies ran. Some of them ran a lot. They ran a total of 277 miles together. And I'm absolutely counting Helen Foley, who went there for support and walked/jogged 12 support laps. Those laps count towards the total of 277. Adrienne, Holmes ran 100 miles. That's a lot. Francine ran 100 miles. That's a lot. Heiser ran a marathon. Congratulations. Amanda Williams ran 50K. That's insane. And then we had Adrienne Holmes, who ran a marathon every day for 3 days. And I don't know if you guys remember Beth Pretty, but she won the whole dang thing by running like 222 miles. I mean, she doesn't train with us, but I'm like in awe of her participation level there. That's insane. Well done, ladies. Well done. Also, big congratulations to Erin Manter-White, who had a huge, like 13-minute PR and did not hate her training cycle, which is huge, right? If you are hating the training, no matter how good your performance is, it's never going to be worth it. Training should be fun. Getting ready for something should be fun. And, granted, 100 miles, it might not sound like your idea of fun, but I would argue that the way we train for it absolutely can be fun, especially if you're traveling to an event with really cool people and having this really, really amazing experience with a clean bathroom every mile, showers, the ability to stop and take breaks in an air-conditioned room, all the quesadillas and hamburgers you could eat like 3 days at the fair is amazing. Oh, and Amy Wilson also had, it was a 10 miler. It was an incredibly difficult 10 miler that took her 3 hours and 37 minutes to complete. Always be wary, by the way, of trail anything that has shorter looking distances, because that means it's going to be really bare, hard terrain. And Amy went out there and conquered it. Congratulations, Amy. I hope all of you are having a wonderful weekend. I hope you are resting. And speaking of resting, I got to give props to Coach Nakia, who has had a sinus infection all week. Sinus infections are terrible. But she said, I'm going to take a couple of days off. I said, you will not. You will not. Well, she won that bet. She did take 3 days off, and then today had a recovery ride. So that is what we call growth, and we are proud of you, Nakia. Work out because you want to, not because you're scared of what will happen if you don't. Finally, if you keep an eye, tomorrow I'm going to be coming back for a Monday motivation, reminding you that motivation can be found anywhere, but it's got to start in here, and it's got to start with not hating with what you're doing. Got to find a way to love it and connect with it. And sometimes we just need a reminder that walking is not a half-ass workout. It is a whole-ass workout. And I'm there for Motivation Monday and Training Tip Tuesday, showing you some of the things that I'm actually doing myself right now in this period when I cannot run, but do have amazing blue hair. I love that color. I love it so much. Woo! It is for Ukraine. In case anyone picked up on that, that's what it's for. I told my kids wanted to do the Ukrainian Easter eggs this year. And I don't know if you see, if you Google Ukrainian Easter eggs, it's a whole art form, stanky. But they're absolutely gorgeous. And my kids were like, that looks hard. It'd be easier if we just like painted your hair. And that's how this whole thing got started. And I love it. Anyway, so yes, with whether you are walking slowly with amazing hair, walking slowly because you just ate a quesadilla at 3 days at the fair, or running in the woods because why not? We are here to support you, and we have a program for you, and we want to coach and love you no matter where you are. Finally, if you have won the lottery or are thinking of a fall marathon, whether or not you are definitely in and you think you're going to do it, or you're toying with the idea, I strongly advise you right now. It is May. It's almost June. Now is the time to go ahead and get into the extra mile. and start pulling some of the strength back together, but not in a way that's going to like have you like splayed out on the floor, unable to move. Which working out in the gym tends to do, especially if you're doing with the trainer. If you can afford it, amazing. We sure can't right now. But so we've made the extra mile with Coach Janet to be affordable and something that you can reach for when you have a little extra time. No pressure or mandate to show up every day, just to promise that she will. So this is the month you really want to start jumping back into the extra mile. It's also the month you really want to start working your way back into maintain. If you have a fall race coming up, rebuild is fine. You'll get a lot of time on your feet. You'll get what you need, but we really need to start building up your miles if you have a race in tow. Now, don't ever forget, this is what office hours are for. Come talk to me about it. I will help you figure out what your best next step is and what it looks like. And I would love to do that together with you. Yay. So the one question that we have is, and of course my phone went to sleep and ate it. Let's go back. Here it is. All right. I fainted during a personal trainer strength session on Tuesday evening. Got it checked out by EMS, good, and ER, good. We can't ever afford to take lightheadedness seriously or fainting. We can't afford to just say, no, I'm fine. Got checked out by ER, and they said it was probably a one-time thing. We think it was triggered by lifting heavy things, like trying to max out on a chest press row and leg press in this session. We fainted when we started to test the shoulder press and being dehydrated. I'm trying to get back on drinking enough water, as that habit has not been well kept recently, but I'm also finding myself a little reluctant to work out at all again because this is scary. So how do I get myself back on the horse? First, we think about what you were doing. This is one of the many reasons why I don't like lifting heavy things. It is scary. And if you have blood pressure issues, which I do, not everyone does, and just because this happened does not mean that you do. But one of the things that for me can cause or exacerbate blood pressure issues is lifting your hands over your head. I know you'll notice that very little of what I do or what I sign in the extra mile has you doing anything more than this. And it's only in a couple of sets. And that reason is when you're trying to lift heavier things, lifting your arms over your head, right? That changes your blood pressure. Standing up changes your blood pressure. Doing both in a period where you're dehydrated is really going to change your blood pressure. So I think your people are right. You have nothing to worry about. It probably was just a one-time thing. The way to get back into it is to find something to hydrate you that you don't hate. For me right now, if you follow me on Facebook, you see that I've been diagnosed with sucrose intolerance, which is a really weird thing. I'd never heard of it either. But it basically means that I cannot consume any sugar or sugar-related products. Bye-bye to everything except noon. When it comes to a hydration perspective, the only sweetener I can consume is aspartame. Go figure. No monk fruit, no Splenda. All of those derivatives of sugar, of honey and whatnot, they all contain sucrose. That's where the sweetness comes from. So I can only have aspartame. And what I've been doing is adding it to noon. I've never really liked the taste of noon very much, but I add a little aspartame to noon. Or if it's the strawberry lemonade noon, then I'll put some fresh lemon juice in it, and that gives it some more of a kick. I'll then add a little bit of lime juice to it, or some strawberries that my kids won't eat, like those old strawberries that look kind of funny they won't put in their mouth. I'll squeeze the juice out of those and put that in noon, and it helps a whole lot. So that is one way to sort of get, it tastes really good. It's strawberry lemonade. So that is one way to sort of get to attack the hydration issue, is to find a way that's going to make it suck a little bit less. Because let's face it, there are a lot of these hydration drinks are either super heavy, super sugary, or just don't taste good. So let's find something. Plain old water is just fine, but I know that I'm a big old baby and I don't drink a whole lot of plain old water myself. So one of the things that I do, again, is I put lemon juice in it, and that makes it taste at least like lemonade to me. I don't even put aspartame in that, but I have to once I've added the noon. So go figure. So that's kind of part one, is keeping you hydrated. Part two is to remember this is a one-time thing. It's probably not going to happen again, but I also guarantee that when you're out there with your trainer, who is going to be a little bit more nervous than you are, tell them what you're feeling. When you feel lightheaded, please spot me. Please hold this. I need to move a little more slowly. It doesn't make you weak. It's a thing, right? Because again, standing up changes your blood pressure. Lifting your hands over your head changes your blood pressure. Being dehydrated lowers your blood pressure. So all three of these things together, it's no wonder that you might have had a moment where you got a little lightheaded and passed out. So again, yeah, I get that it's scary, but getting back on the horse is a process of reminding yourself that, hey, working out is kind of fun, and doing things that make me stronger will make the other things that I enjoy a whole lot easier, and it's not going to be like this forever, right? The stronger you get, the easier it's going to be to do these things, and the less of an impact it's going to have on your blood pressure, right? So the odds of this happening again, it could happen again, and it's still not going to mean that there's like some bigger problem there. So, I mean, I get the fear. That is valid. That is real. I feel it. I feel it for you. There's nothing I can say that's going to make you less scared of that happening again. What I can tell you is that there are lots of scary things, and the things that are indicative and point to bigger issues. I can remind you and assure you, and I'll tell you this whenever you need to hear it, that this isn't one of them specifically in this instance. And if there was something to be scared of, the ER would have found it, because that's one of the places you're going to get the most immediate type of care, the triage. Lots of doctors, lots of people putting their heads together and thinking, and you don't necessarily get that in a one-off at the doctor's office. So with all that said, if you've got the time and you've got a good personal trainer, I say keep seeing them. Yay. And then get ready to come see me at 3 days at the fair. So hopefully it's going to be happening next year. So that is it for this week in Ask Away. You're coached. You are loved. I hope you win at the week ahead, because you can eat whatever you want. Go to Chick-fil-A and have a frosted lemonade for me. I wish I'd had 3 more before I knew that this diagnosis is coming. Oh my gosh, those are one of my favorite things in the world. I love lemons and I love lemon drinks. And, don't at me for the Chick-fil-A stuff. There aren't many people who make really amazing lemon drinks or lemon milkshakes for that matter. And there aren't a lot of options when you have celiac. And I could always get celiac safe food for myself and the kids at Chick-fil-A. So with that said, your coach, you are loved. If you can eat anywhere, you're winning at life. Don't ever forget it. You are super duper winning at life, even if you feel busted and broken after running a total of 277 miles. My gosh. And don't count out your miles, Helen, just because they were support miles. You support miled almost a half marathon. 12 miles is a lot. OMG. You girls are all amazing. Congratulations. Big, huge congratulations to Amy Wilson. I never would have run that race. That looks so hard. Huge congratulations to Erin Manter-White. I couldn't believe that result. That just made my day. I'm sure it made yours as well. And huge congratulations again to Francine for 100 miles, for Adrienne Holmes for 3 marathons back-to-back, to Melissa Heiser for a marathon, and to Amanda Williams, 50K. Hey. Y'all don't give up. That's why I love you. Have a great week.